literally have a shower.
Okay, so working on a few things at the moment, just to get a few jobs done kind of at the same time. So this is going to be the 90mm 12 volt fan that's going to be in our toilet, extracting all the smelly air. So we've got that on like a grate. Then we've gone and to Bunnings, and I've got another grate just to double up on making sure no insects get inside. So that'll go into there like that. Then I've got this coupling which reduces it from, I believe, 90mm to, I think it's 40. And then we've got this guy, which will go in there. I'll seal it all up. I didn't want a giant bit of pipe flying under the truck just for some airflow, but unnecessary. At first, we were only going to use that, and that was going to be in the floor, so that's why I'd originally bought that. But a few of you have mentioned in the comments that we don't want the smelly air coming out on our camping side of the truck, so I'm going to divert it to the other side out the back. The stinky, grotty air. Yeah, so I'm going to work on that now. And we've got a few more things to do as well today.
Can you see me?
Alright, so now making up like a little flange system for the air hose to come out of the toilet. So we got this flexible hose here, which is really cheap. It's 22mm, and it comes already with a couple of like rubber flanges here. So I am making this guy up. So this is like a flexible flange we got from Bunnings as well. I've now cut some poly pipe to basically stiffen that rubberized join, and that way I can pop this guy onto that end, and that will pop into the floor, and that hole we just cut I'll seal around that. And then we've got 10 meters of length, so I can fire this bad boy into other vehicles, you know, out the roof hatch, and just smell the booze. Yeah, so that'll be good. So yeah, just a little DIY flange. That's going to work really nicely. This is UV stabilized hose. So we've basically gone from a 90mm fan to a 22mm hose. Cool.
So clever.
For pretty cheap anyway. Okay, so I had a ton of length left over of this 22mm hose from our fan. Now I'm plumbing up the #1 liquids, diverter to go underneath the vehicle. So off the urine diverter is a 32mm OD, so I think it's 30mm ID hose. That will then go into another one of these flexible joiners, and then to join these two to the 22mm, I've got, looks a bit like this, a 25mm barbed joiner, again from Bunnings, just in the irrigation section. I'm going to join the two pipes together, run it through the floor, and then show you the end result. Now I just chopped a little hole next to the other one, so I'm going to find a way to push that through the floor and then pump that all up. Alright, so just chopped a little hole with the hole saw in the very bottom of our original jerry can that came with the MOG, so the army one. A little bit rusty, but I'll fix it up if I can make this contraption work. So what my idea is I'm going to fit like your standard garden hose. I'm going to thread that in, seal it all up, and then we have a quick push fit fitting for our #1 liquids hose that'll go into that, and that'll store our #1s. To work for your food around here.
So apparently Chuck likes donut, but she doesn't really like carrots.
Like me.
It's like your little pet, you teaching her some tricks.
Yeah, pet shop.
She doesn't like you much.
Especially most of piping. Okay, so today we're making the shower base. So we were going to go with a company called Multi-Panel to make a custom shower base with a predetermined fall in it. But I've kind of decided now, seeing as our shower base area is so small, we don't really need a massive fall for it. And a few of you had said that what works really well in like a caravan or an off-road kind of environment, or a vehicle, is to actually have 2 shower drains. So we've gone and done that. And I framed out the shower base with Thermalite, which is our flooring stuff. So again, doesn't take on water, so it'll stay nice and waterproof. I've now painted that and sealed it with waterproofing material. We've got our plugs, and then for the actual shower tray, we've picked up this stuff here. Pretty neat product. It's about 3mm thick. It's called AliGloss. Again, got this from Bunnings. It's got one black side and one completely white side. Obviously we'll use the white side. It's like an aluminium composite material, and you can just cut it with normal woodworking tools. So it's nice and like sturdy, durable, won't take on water, but also we should be able to kind of force a little bit of a fall into it. So I'm going to glue that down and see if we can basically press these into place, and that'll be pretty much the shower base done, and then I can just plumb it underneath and we'll be good to go.
So while Chris has been quite busy the past few days with all the plumbing, I was focusing on the clothing storage area for the mug. I've been cutting all the aluminium profiles with a miter saw. I've been bolting everything together with those little brackets that we've made, and I've even had a chance to practice for the first time with a skill saw, which I was so proud of. That's a new skill added to the list. Now I'm back at the admin station for a few hours just to do a bit of editing. I would like to thank Skillshare for being a sponsor of this video and helping me to improve my workflow. So if you're not familiar with Skillshare, it's an online platform with thousands of classes with all kinds of different topics. So for example, you've got photography, graphic design, or film and video, which is the category I'm the most interested in. So I've been editing videos for like over a year now, but I'm still definitely not an expert, so I always try to improve my editing skills. This is why I selected the Advanced Video Editing with Adobe Premiere Pro 2020 from Jordi Vanderpoot. I really recommend this class for anyone who's got already some experience with this software. The teacher was super knowledgeable. He gave a lot of great useful and practical examples. He's like super engaging, and I learned a lot of tips and tricks that I can now apply from now on. If you don't have any experience with video editing and you want to get started, you've got as well a lot of like other teachers really going through the basics, so don't get afraid with that. Another useful feature with Skillshare that I really liked was the notes. So when you look at the class, you can add some notes at the same time and as well look back at them. You also have no ads, so you don't get interrupted anytime between the lessons. So for the first 1,000 of you clicking the link in the description, you can get a month free trial of Skillshare as opposed to normally 7 days, so that you can learn as well new skills from the comfort from home or whenever you've got downtime.
Alrighty, a bit of a recap into what I've done this week. So As I was showing you before, we've got 2 hoses now coming out of the toilet. This one is the exhaust air coming out of that little 12-volt fan. So got that coming down and then going through this, basically it's just like a chassis pipe that goes around to the other side, which I'll show you soon. Perfect place to run that pipe, which is nice. The other one is the liquids separator that's going down and across and through to the other side as well, which I'll show you. And then here are our 2 shower drains. So what we've got here, the main part of this setup is this, it's called a Hepvo. So it's a waterless P-trap. There's like a valve in here that opens up when water comes through. The benefit of it is it's very much a 4 seasons type of a setup. There's no liquid in here normally to be smelly or to freeze. So that's why we chose to go off the Hepvo, and it's quite low profile and you can have it horizontal rather than only vertical. So we've got 2 pipes coming out. We've gone with these rubberized fittings. I'm really happy with these, and one big bonus is that it's removed any kind of vibration that we'll get through solid PVC. So we've only really got the Hepvo and a joiner and a T here, sorry, an elbow and a T. The rest is rubberized, and this is like washing machine hose. This then goes straight into the tank, and it is 32 mil. So as you guys saw in another video, we only had a 20 mil inlet onto the grey water system, and as a few of you said, it's too small. So I've made a new hole, basically just chopped a hole in it, and we've got a few different fittings going on. I've sealed it all up, and we tested it yesterday and the liquid flows down nicely. Okay, now here's that jerry can I was showing you earlier. We've got pretty elaborate setup really. So here's that quick disconnect fitting that I glued in. That was the wrong idea. I should have actually had the male version of this, not the female version, but I'd already cut the hole. So anyway, I found this 2-way sort of ball valve system that will plumb into there. So when I pull the tank out of the carrier here, liquid's not going to fall on the ground. Then I've got a breather, which I can turn off if I want to, with some clear hose, and I have put some like fly netting on the end so no bugs get up in there. So that's that, and then he slots back around in here and goes back into place, and then I connect it with the garden hose fitting. And that is where the toilet exhaust comes out. So at least it's this side of the truck and not the side that we might be all set up for cooking and stuff like that. So happy with how that's worked out. Okay, and here is the shower base, which I'm really proud of actually. It's turned out so nice. The white matches everything else. I've sealed it all up, and I've got that fall. So this is a higher area, so the water's always going to want to fall to either side. Did a little test yesterday with just my drinking water, poured it kind of right in the middle, and I guess we didn't even realize the truck is on a slight slope, so most of it all went into this hole here, but there was very little remaining in the actual shower pan. We didn't actually go with shower drains. They were too big, the ones that we found. So I believe this is like a basin, like one you'd find in a bathroom. Bonus of that is it's got 2 little caps. So if we ever, you know, leave the truck for a decent amount of time, we can just close these up if we want to. So I guess that's kind of handy. And the other bonus was the grate in here is one of the smallest we could find, so that it catches Angie's hair, because I don't want to be fishing that out of those grey water tanks all the time. So yeah, I'm wrapped. Then today I'm going to basically build a little floor mat out of Kwila, which is a hardwood also known as merbau, and have a crack at making something that fits in there really nicely for us to stand on.
Chris has asked me to come in inside the mug. This is for the big reveal.
Hey.
That looks already so much better.
Does I?
Wow. That's so cool. Can I stand on it without shoes? Ooh. Now we just need a little bamboo somewhere, and there will be the
bamboo.
Yeah, I want a little bamboo.
I don't know if the bamboo will survive in there with not much light.
And then there will be the final touch of
Might
color.
be. Maybe hang it from the ceiling.
Yeah. Bamboo are good because you don't need much care.
Let's get one. Alright, got one of our biggest deliveries so far. So we've gone with a LG household fridge to run inside the MOG. We got it from Betta Home Living, and the legend Travis dropped it off for us for free, so thanks man. Now we went with a household fridge mainly because this one here is an inverter fridge and it has a variable compressor. So what that means is once it reaches temperature, it will actually just switch off and the compressor won't be on constantly. Whereas with a lot of 12 volt fridges, especially the larger ones, they'll just stay constantly running. So that was, one of the big bonuses for this. Our solar setup that we are going to have on the MOG, I think will really easily run this the whole time. The only downside being this is 240 volts, so we'll have to have an inverter on 24/7 running this bad boy. So it's a 255 litre fridge freezer, so it's got both, which is really nice. And this bad boy only cost us about $590, so shy of $600. Whereas all the 12 volt fridges we were looking at were sometimes $2,000 plus. So huge benefit to just running a household fridge in that case. So if this thing dies on the road at some point, which it may not really like corrugations for years on end, but then we can buy 4 fridges for the price of what one of these 12 volt fridges cost, right? So so that's why we're going with that. So I'm gonna open this bad boy up. Yeah. Okay. Angela, I think this is where I'll need your assistance.
This is me. Alright, it's time for me to take you inside the MOG and show you a few things that we've changed. Starting with the shower deck, Chris has done 4 layers of waterproof stain so that it's all looking amazing now. We've got as well a toilet roll. The only downside of this toilet roll is the hatch used to be able just to stand like so against the wall, but now it's like too heavy, so we need to find a way, maybe like a magnet or something, or we're not too sure yet. We need to look into that. Then we've got this little fusion lock shower caddy from Bunnings that has no drill. It's just like very strong against the wall there, so even with vibration, we've heard some really great things about it. As you can see, I've made some good progress with the aluminium construction of our clothing storage. I've run out of brackets halfway through the job, so that's the only downfall, I guess, of making your own brackets. And then when you run out, then you kind of like have to stop. But I don't have much to go. And then Chris currently is working on this area. I'll let him explain to you exactly what's going on because he's been working quite hard on that little project. So yeah, that's very exciting. And also very exciting, yesterday we went to pick up our materials for our walls and our cabinet, so we need to show you what it is. So you're quite familiar with the chook, but we've got as well now some new company. We've got some sheep and baby lambs. They look so cute.
So I've spent quite a few hours over the last couple of days making our little kiddie bed, I guess you could call it. Now I've made it out of this old stuff. So this was the 20mm structural ply that was on the bed of the MOG when we bought it, and the edges were very, very rotten. So I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I cut into it and turns out the rot had not gone far at all. It had only gone like a few centimeters in. So I'll show you what I've done with that. Alrighty, into the MOG. Here's Ange cleaning up a little bit. This is our work site. It's a bit dark in here. The GoPro doesn't seem to like it, but this is what I've turned it into. So just got some piano hinge going on, lifts up so you got storage underneath. And that will be a bed. When Kitty is old enough to sleep in a bed, I will chop holes with a hole saw into the base of that so that it can breathe, and then we'll obviously get a mattress for it. For now, we'll probably just leave it as is and have some storage and stuff going on. We are thinking of having a window here now because we're finding it's quite dark in here, and the GoPro really doesn't like it. The GoPro makes it look a lot darker and dingier than it actually is in here. But yeah, it is what it is. So I basically spent hours and hours getting the surface to this level, and did a couple of coats of different types of stain, and then finished it up with a little bit of polyurethane. So it's got like this really old aged look, which we weren't originally going for, but because it took me so long and I got it from such a horrible state, I kind of like it now, I guess, because I put the time into it. But yeah, so that's stuff is underway.
And this is 4.8 meter of materials goodness. So this will be the product that we will be using for our walls. It's called Perma Timber QuickBoard Ceiling and Wall Lining. So a lot of people using like recently, like in the van or burst conversion. I found it like on Instagram, actually another build, and I'm really happy with this product. So I've always been a fan of this look with vertical lines like shiplap or pine slabs or anything like that painted in white. This product, the big benefit is we don't have to do any painting. It's really low maintenance. It's lightweight. So it's a composite product. So this is what it looks like on the inside. So yeah, really, really light. We don't have to worry that much with the GDM, with the MOG, but any product that we can save weight on is always a bonus. Another bonus, it was like really good price. That was $290 for 12 square meters. So that's really good. And it's nice finish. It was available nearby. So it ticked all the boxes. And one of the main advantages as well, we can cut it with the miter saw, which is gonna save us a lot of time. So we're gonna play around with the product today and maybe get started on our first wall. All right, and this is our first wall done. The bedroom for the kid, starting to look more like a bedroom. So that was our first practice with the Perma Timber product, and I must admit we're quite happy with it. It worked very well.
It's actually pretty easy for a change.
So we'll show you in the next week video. We've got a lot more walls to do, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Cheers.